So ask and you shall receive. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So I am receiving connection and joy. Just by looking at you all. So my name is Jen, and the theme for 2025 is Rising Higher, Growing Deeper. The theme for December is Shedding Our Skin. And today's topic is Light Fills the Darkness. We have two passages that illuminate our message today. Ernest Holm offers us this. It is interesting that the light should come with an expansion of consciousness. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness comprehend it not. We all, in varying degrees, enter into this sense, into illumination. All people have sensed that truth is light. If a spiritual treatment could be seen, it would be seen as a pathway of light. And Reverend Scott Aubrey writes, the great spiritual traditions of the world remind us that no matter how hard life becomes, there is always a higher way of being, one that carries us through. Christmas calls us to remember that we are givers, and that we are never more fully ourselves, never greater than when we give and live from our highest vision. So let's affirm together. I walk with confidence in my luminous magnificence, guided by the divine light within. Thank you. And I'm going to welcome Reverend Dr. Kathleen.
Thank you so much. Testing. Hello? Testing? All right, there we go. I'd like to start with a story. It's a story about a minister who ran into one of the members of her congregation when she was shopping at the mall. And she asked the man why he didn't attend more regularly. And so the man said, well, every time I come to the service, you sing the same songs. And so she was puzzled because she knew that her music team had a variety of songs throughout the year. It didn't make any sense. And so she said, well, what exactly are the songs that you think are sung all the time? And he said, well, Silent Night in O Little Town of Bethlehem. And she goes, So it's just really a reminder of the power of being regular and consistent with our spiritual practice, whatever it may be. So powerful. And the two things that I wanted to address today are mindful movement as we move throughout the holidays, and also the idea of light, the concept of light entering the darkness, a little bit about its history and its meaning for us in this day and age. So mindful movement, again, this time of year where we can get really caught up in the hustle and bustle of the season, thinking, I've got to get this done, I've got to get that done, and all of these different pieces, we can get ourselves into a state of anxiety and upset that is really not what the Christmas message is all about. And so I'm going to go back to just some concepts in the Christmas story that really speak to this. Think of Mary's long journey and Joseph's steady steps as they make their way to Bethlehem. The shepherds following the star and walking under this beautiful expanse of sky, finding their way to the Christ child. The wise ones, the magi, who are making their way slowly but surely, mindfully, toward the star that's guiding them. If we can you feel the steadiness, the purposefulness, the mindfulness in those images as you contemplate them? I know I'm feeling this beautiful sense of inner peace as I think about this idea of mindful movement. And it begins within. It begins with a powerful intention that I am going to move through this season with mindfulness. I'm going to remember what this season is all about. This is a holy season, not just for the Christians, but for the Zoroastrians and our Jewish brothers and sisters, and our Buddhist brothers and sisters. It is a time of contemplation and deep meditation on the true qualities of the season. So slowing down. And so our physical and our mental movements then are echoing that beautiful sacred nature, so beautifully depicted by the Christmas story. Think about it. Movement is so powerful. Movement stirs energy. It lifts the spirit. It loosens all that has grown stuck within us. So, the spiritual practice, of course, can be things like Tai Chi and yoga. I think about the sacred dance of the Sufis, who the whirling dervishes. All of these beautiful methods of deepening into our divine connection, remembering who we are, movement, mindful movement, so important, however it shows up for you. So at times, you may be guided to move a little quicker, or you may be guided to slow down, or you may even be guided to drop into the inner stillness of your being in meditation. Whatever it is, the idea is to listen deeply, and follow that guidance. Be in the present moment with each and every day, each and every moment, and there'll be a huge difference in how you experience the season. I'm speaking to myself too. It's really important. Going at a pace that is right for us instead of comparing ourselves to others. Okay, light enters the darkness. This beautiful concept of light. Throughout the ages, humanity has associated light with hope and with the divine presence. And in ancient cultures, solstice was celebrated by the light of fire. And it was a time in which those cultures, there was a turning point where those cultures realized, okay, from this moment forward, there will be more daylight, more light, and less darkness. It was a time of hope for life unfolding in its pattern that it had throughout the ages. Time of hope. And then the idea of divine presence for the light was really deepened into the birth of Christ and his beautiful ministry, Jesus the Christ, and realizing that he was luminous being. At times he was so deeply illuminated that his disciples could not even look at him. He was so brilliant and so luminous. So he became then a demonstration of the light of the world. And in our metaphysical teachings, we honor Jesus. We honor his birth. And we honor his great work. And this idea of Christ consciousness then, which he was letting people know, these things I do and even greater things you could do. There's talking about putting on the mind of Christ, allowing that light to shine within. So we have the opportunity to recommit ourselves to being that light, to embodying that thing called Christ consciousness, which is a universal concept that's found in other religions. Buddha consciousness, whether you call it Buddha consciousness, Atman consciousness, whatever you call it, this presence, we're calling it Christ consciousness right now, this presence illuminates our path as we move through life, as we journey through life. We are the light of the world. So this idea of light, candlelight, by the Middle Ages, candles became central to the Christmas worship ceremonies, and later the Protestant traditions emphasized that light is carried with us, within us. And that truth was captured by Ernest Holmes, who said, "We do not create the light, we uncover it." So in this high and holy time then, the light that we are shines away the darkness. And metaphysically, that means that as we bring our attention, through our spiritual practice, we become very present moment awareness and aware of the light within. We can shine that light of awareness on those patterns of thought, emotion, behavior that don't serve us, without feeling guilty, but just noticing them, shining the light on them, and shifting back into alignment with who we are in truth. So the light shining away the darkness, we can call it the darkness of thoughts that are unhealthy and don't serve us, patterns of being. And therefore, as the light dispels the darkness within, the light shines more brightly in our lives. We become the light of the world. We express the light of the world that's already there. This is an awareness of omnipresence. Again, oneness consciousness, the omnipresence of this light that's available to each and every one of us, that is our true essence. And as the light shines, it reveals the gifts of the Spirit: love, compassion, peace, joy, harmony, and shows up as gratitude, as forgiveness, as generosity, as kindness, loving kindness. And I'm sure you could add to that. The gifts of the Spirit, so important to our daily experience, to our relationships with ourselves and with others that we come in contact with. So the light enters the darkness. And here's the thing that I want to add to that. We don't want to malign the darkness either, because we know that God is all there is, and everything is God. God is in the darkness. I was thinking of the song, Everywhere I Am. God is in the darkness, God is in the light. God is in the highest, and God is in the lowest. God is everywhere. So as we then, again, embrace the darkness as part of the creative presence of the divine, then there's nothing that's left out of the heart and the love of God and of ourselves. And therefore we can be airlifted from the depths of darkness into the light in a twinkling of the eye. So here, my call to action then is going to be upheld by this beautiful prayer by Yogananda. Yes, Yogananda. Yogananda, who called all of his followers together and said, let's contemplate the Christmas story. Let's contemplate the life of the Christ. So, because Yogananda understood the idea of the universality of spiritual teachings like we do. You know, that's why we have the symbol down here of the interfaith symbol that is a combining of all the major world religions, understanding that we look for the universal message, and that universal message was being expressed by Jesus throughout his ministry. So let us turn within now and meditate on this, on the deeper meaning of Yogananda's words. So this is our prayer, Sharon. Yeah. So Christmas, then, captured in The Second Coming of Christ by Yogananda. Turning within and listening. Let us make this Christmas a real celebration of the birth of the Holy Child by striving to realize the consciousness which he attained. Breathe. Let us make this celebration an uplifting and spiritual experience. Let us not, for a moment, forget the one whose birthday is being commemorated while we go about the joyful and exciting preparation for the family holidays. Let us use it as an opportunity to express the universal Christ, love for all people and all creatures, the universal Christ, that love that's exalted in the lowly, near and far, large and small, known and unknown. While we are remembering the physical birth of the baby Christ Jesus, let us realize his eternal loving presence, which is always with us as omnipresent Christ consciousness. Let us establish the Prince of Peace consciousness as our inner ruler, that we may meet our life tests with power, victory, and tranquility. Let us meditate until we perceive the infinite Christ reigning in our own hearts. Let us learn to love those who love us not. Let us learn to forgive those who do ill against us. Let us break all mental boundaries of color, creed, and nationality. Let us receive all, even our inanimate and animal brothers. Let us receive all in the all-embracing arms of our Christ consciousness. This will be a true and fitting celebration of the coming of Jesus Christ to this earth. Let us rejoice and give thanks for this wonderful gift of light and love from the great giver. Peace, joy, peace. And so it is.
So it is.
Mm.
I'd like to welcome the Celestial Joy Ensemble, please.